Everyone knows I'm police. Everyone knows. I've been police for officially for, I remember when I didn't know, no, but officially I've been working with the law enforcement. Actually, I've been working with law enforcement since 2008, back almost 15 years ago. But then I got upgraded. I got ranked up to agent now, for several United States and European and other agencies. I got upgraded to a full out agent. I think well, actually less than 7 years ago, about 5 years ago is when I was made official as an agent. I seen this. They seized a bunch of stolen 45 caliber handgun. Then they had another one with the serial, a ghost gun sort of one. Serial number removed. A lot of drugs in London. They seem to always get these guys. Whenever I see them, they always get these guys or whatever. So, anyways, it looks like they had a lot of ammunition, 12 gauge and whatnot. One thing I noticed about these guys in Canada is they got a lot of money, a lot of drugs, and they got a lot of ammunition, and the police always get it. All right. Yeah, I just got my new 410. I always wanted a 12 gauge, but I never wanted to be one of these guys. I want a 45, but I had to buy a 32 antique because I couldn't get a 45. Because if I would have, I would need my PAL, and then it would be considered this, that, and the other. These guys went. I got my firearm legally. I even have my paperwork with the See, they got that ban, so I bought my handgun. I have my handgun. Everybody, if you've bought your personal handgun, you have it, but they're saying you're not allowed to sell it, trade it, nothing no more. It's your personal handgun. If you bought it at that certain time, that's your handgun for life or whatever. Kind of like it's but these people, they had a stolen one that wasn't even a serial number removed. My serial number is listed in the RC with the RCMP and all that. So you choose to go the illegal route with the illegal drugs and see what happens. And that London jail isn't no fun place either. I've been there. What's that jail called? London EMDC or Elgin Middlesex Detention Center. I've been there. Yeah, I've been to here. There's been deaths in this jail. It's not a fun place. You can die there. Or many other things. It's not. It's a very suffering place. If you choose to violate the law here in Canada, in the London area, which is Middlesex County, I believe, that's where you'll be sent. I had a fraud under 5,000 charge out in London years ago, and I had to be transferred to London for a temporary time. I think I was there maybe a couple weeks or something. But even that couple weeks it felt like years. This place, well, I can't remember what they called it. The Devil's Playground or something like that. When you go there, these pictures don't do it justice. The facility is one of its own kind. It's been around since 1970 or even before or whatever. So the building and all the metal and everything is all retro dated back to a different time, because I've been in the other jails too, the new super jails, where it's sort of dated at maybe like a 2010 to a 2015 to 2020, not even a 2020, but you get what I'm saying. But this facility, they're doing a big renovation on it where they added a whole bunch of new. I seen their new A&D. That's like sort of in the United States, they call it central booking, but in Canada they call it this A&D thing. Can't remember what it stands for, but it's like where you when you first go into the jail, they start booking you into the jail, your name, your blah blah blah. They get you into your suit. They do their first time searching and all that. When I lived in the United States, all the criminals and in the music and all that, they know it as central booking and whatnot, right? And they do it a little bit different too. In a lot of the United States jails, it's open population central booking and all that. Whereas in Canada, I think they do they hold on to you sort of individually, and they put you in the bullpen jail cell until they're ready to take you individually, and then they process you individually one by one, which they do in the United States central booking too, but sometimes they're sitting around in the open or whatever until they process it. Here's one of the deaths. I heard about this one. I heard about this one when I was in the jail. Even I got assaulted in the jail, not in this jail. You wouldn't want to get assaulted in this jail. You wouldn't want to get assaulted in any of the jails. It's a bad jail. And I remember driving by it, and I said I'd never go there. Then I had to go there. It's hard to get out. Even if you're just in there for something small, it's hard to get out. But yeah, they got new parts of it, like that A&D. Oh yeah, I remember this part. This part is when you go through the A&D or whatever it's called to get into the part of the jail with the cells and all that. It's all old. We're gonna find some pictures, more pictures. They even have radios built into the cells. Certain cells have radios in them. Oh yeah, this is a certain area of the jail before you go into the certain wing or block. You see, this is like a waiting area to get into the jail. This is one of the main units. Just like this enclosed area, you got cells. These are cells, jail cells. Then you have these ones have windows. These ones have no windows. These are called, can't remember what they called them. They had a certain name for these cells. I was in one of these cells with this guy named Lyle. It was horrible. It was horrible. I hate being in jail with other men. Yeah, and then all like Canadian, you might have seen in my other videos and whatnot, like the signs. We have a lot of signs, even the jails, in front of the jail. Some people, they only know these signs, right? It says like Ministry of Correctional Services, blah, blah, blah on it. So, but these are everywhere. Even my local boat dock at the beach has one of these signs. The Ontario government sign. Born in Ontario. Where are we here? Yeah, so it looks like this, and then it goes to the newer part of the jail, but then it's all old. The pictures don't do it justice. Some people, it's a whole experience to get to go through that jail. I mean, I remember when I was a kid that when I never went to jail. And you only see the pictures and hear the stories and watch the movies, but nothing's like actually going in. Here's where they bring you in, eh? You're in like the back of this bus or whatever that can't see nothing. You're all tied up and hog-tied or whatever. They bring you in the back here. You can't see nothing. They let you out of this big rat cage bus, and you don't know where you are until you start learning it. These people are laundry people. These ones, they do a lot of jail time. Look at this. You wear this big orange thing or whatever. People are just happy to be alive or whatever. It's hard to explain. It's like nobody has nothing, but you're like everybody is happy to be at least alive. These COs, they have a lot of power all the way up into even society. It's crazy. I never knew how much, and I never knew how much power they had until I got to meet them in person. And they try to entangle you in their web of power and all that. By murder, by all, they get jealous, right? Because they work in this like nobody want in my industry. Nobody wants to work in the jail, right? And but they have to deal with inmates every day, so no wonder I dealt with some really mean COs. How would you feel if you had to wake up in the morning and check in and go into this place, and that's how you had to pay your bills? So I know how it is on certain days, but other than that, they were great. The COs were great. I wish they would have been a little bit nicer. I was the nicest, I think, but there was a couple good ones. There's a couple good ones. There's a couple good inmates. I learned a lot. Learned a lot. I even learned how to play chess now that I think about it. Oh, there's all different areas, eh? They have a whole new area for like weekenders and all that. That's what they told me. So this is the new weekend jail at EMDC. Look at this. They got chess boards right in the middle of the table. You know, you want to check in for the weekend. You got chess, all your friends. There's going to be juice and breakfast, I'm sure. Okay, it's the lifestyle for some people. Yeah, I've seen even my uncle David and all that. He goes to the prison up in Drumheller or whatever. No, it's not that one. Some prison up in Edmonton. They have the all different pastors come in, Jehovah's Witness even. There's many different ones that'll come into the jail and they'll talk actually at a frequent basis. They come in, and those people are from the local community. Like my uncle David, he's got an acreage and all that. He still goes. Like I don't want to go anywhere near the prison. He's got money and this and that and the other. Like I said, he has an acreage and all that. And he still goes into the prison and talks to the people and tries to help them and try to change their ways. Hey, he's not. That's the way they try to make it sound, and the way they make people feel is like that. People have to go in and care about these people, but you don't have to care about these people because I don't care about these people at all. Because sometimes when you care about these people, you'll get yourself, and he's been the victim of crime too. They got home invaded because he was caring for these people a little bit too much, and they took advantage of him. Because these people got families. You see them use the phone every day. Yeah, they really make calls to real people outside in the city, and they can really do stuff. So you have to watch that. How do you stop that from happening? Well, somebody like me, I'm telling you, you got to stop being so caring for the true criminals or what have you in there. And stop being corrupt and trying to put somebody like me in jail that's not a criminal. They tried to do that because they thought it was going to be profitable, they said. They thought they were going to make money off of me. They do it to people, but they couldn't do it to me. But they do it to people. I seen it. But hey, the majority of those people in there, I'd say, were straight out criminals. I was 1 in a million. I'm 1 in a million. I always knew I was 1 in a million. And then when I went to jail, I seen like, wow, how much I am 1 in a million. It increased my value a lot. So I realized how these people systematically work their brain processing for making money. They don't have no money. They rely on the same government or whatever to give them their money that they go against or whatever. It's funny. It's funny. What's this? Yeah, there's corrupt CEOs. Got to watch that. When I was in there, oh, countless. The CEOs, oh, they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing better to do. You know, when you're there or whatever, they felt so special that I had to witness their conduct because I'm one in a million. So when they have me witnessing their conduct, they feel special. But as soon as somebody like me leaves and they realize that they were just like these losers that are stuck in a jail having sex with inmates or putting weapons in inmates' hands or doing drugs with inmates and all that, when they realize they were those ones, it hurts them bad. And they either get prosecuted, they change their ways, or they kill themselves. Or they get relinquished of their duties. They're just not doing a good job. I don't know. I never understood the politics of the jail. Elgin, Middlesex. Well, I guess if you get in trouble and they send you to jail for a really long time, it's a certain thing, eh? But it's not something. See, I always said some of these guys were choosers. They chose that life to be. But there are some people that never chose that life, eh? Like they just so happened caught a charge or whatever. They were doing their best or whatever, and they got lifed or whatever, and yada yada. But it's a dog eat dog world. The haircuts and but I like these people. I'm one of these people with the tattoos and all that. So you got to watch both sides of the fence. I don't think these pristine ones are too innocent either, though. And it's not about somebody's personal choice the way they look. I think some of these laws are set up to hurt people. I think even our own family members, some of the ones that pretend to mourn and all that, are the ones that cause it. And I think that our higher privileged and our ones that have force and all that, they take advantage of people that are in our society for profitable means, whether it be sell them drugs or get them psychologically down in the dumps. You got good ones, and you got ones that are up in the doing the laws, like I said, that are just hungry. They should be in business and they're in politics. Politics is not business, really. It's more, there's a business side to it, but also it's not really for profiteering, more or less. If you want to do that, you got to start a business like a restaurant or one of these free economy businesses or what have you, not to take advantage of people. But at the same time, it's great when they get some of this stuff off the streets. I mean, look at the drugs that they're selling. I'm not a fan of the illegal drugs like the cocaine and all that. They got shatter here. Yeah, it's been those ones with the cocaine. I remember this Randy Jackson they just got. He was powerful, that Randy Jackson. I can't believe they got that Randy Jackson. Not the American musician, the smuggler. 8-year prison sentence for bringing guns from U.S. into Canada. Big time guns. We're talking 67 guns from Michigan to Canada, illegal guns. And he was selling them all around the greater Toronto area. And they weren't to anybody that I would have said that should have had them. And he got caught in the Nexus line, which, if you don't know, the Nexus line is like he was U.S. military and all that. So he got sort of I think it's a Nexus pass. certain people, they are seen as low risk. They get a pass where they can easily pass through the border. I don't have a nexus, but I know a few people that do. He was one of them. He never offered to sell me a gun. So, but I never, it took until about now for me to process that this man right here would be the one to buy a gun from. I remember him having cocaine. I remember him having marijuana. Before they legalized marijuana, he was famous in my life for being a man that would put cocaine secretly in your marijuana. Oh, if you bought it from him, it would have cocaine in it because this guy was one of those sort of bad guys. He didn't just want to sell you the marijuana, it would have cocaine in it. So he was one of those, I remember, and that's why I was thinking I contacted him, right? Because I work with law enforcement. That's the funny thing. And it just all happens out, that, hey, I guess I was part of the investigation, like several investigations I've been a part of. No, I know this guy. Well, I don't know him, but I met him a few times. He has all different personalities. He's serious. He's part of this certain race. Hey, and I'm not racist. There's a few of them in Canada. They're a very serious or something. They're Grenadian or something. There's another man in Alberta that looks a lot like him. That's a very serious man here that has illegal firearms too, that has yet to be caught by the police. He's in Edmonton. His name's JD, Josh David. His parents live there, and he's got all these illegal 7.62s and all that, and he kills people in Edmonton. He's responsible for the murder of Susie Tran and Irfan Qureshi. They've still yet to get him. Same with this E and this D. But they've gotten this one, Randy Jackson. There wasn't many of them, as I know. I'm from Canada, born and raised, and I know everybody in Canada. And all they got left is this JD and this E and all that. And there's a couple ones in Toronto from that Galloway and all that. And we're looking pretty clean. And I'd even take that Lyon Johnson that's originally from Bahamas. I'd take him to jail too because he's doing home invasions. And if you could get those people out of here, we're going to look at a very peaceful nation. Because I know the criminals. Because they tried to take advantage of me and I just blew them off. And yeah, as you seen with Randy Jackson, what a great surprise. I woke up and Randy was 8 years in prison. And it was just such good news. And he's barred from Canada. He'll never be allowed in Canada ever again in his entire life. If you ever see him, call the OPP, call the RCMP, call and tell them you need to bring your rifle, your 223, your auto, call the military. Randy Jackson is in Canada, and if you go look him up, he is barred from Canada forever for the guns and the criminal nature and all that. So if he comes in here, they'll have the military on him and all that. If he goes to the border, they'll deny him access. But if he takes it beyond the border and wants to illegally sneak in with guns and then go on like a killing rampage, or he wants to go to war or whatever, if you see that man, you call the police you let them know, hey, this is Randy Jackson. He's barred from Canada, 80 guns. He's military or whatever. You need to have the 223 out or whatever to take him down or whatever. And that's how you deal with those ones. You just tell the police, we need to, you don't have to be so specific about the caliber, but you say, Randy Jackson, you can search him up on Google, barred from Canada, 8 years in prison. You're going to have to bring the rifles out and have it on standby like this guy's a killer and he's in Canada. He's not supposed to be here, and they'll take care of it. And then if they know it's like that, then they'll come out and the police will be strong because you forget how this world works. If you don't warn the police like how I just told you about that guy, they might show up under thing, and then he kills a couple officers, and then everybody's scared of him, and then our law goes back. So that's how I always did it. And that's why Canada's gone so much better. I'm clearing them all out since I got back. I mean, I dealt with this Mike Buddy. I've got him in line. We could have got him in line a little bit harder, but they got him in line. They pulled the flashlights out on him. They pulled the flashlight out on him, and I've never seen him since. So I think the light scared that guy for maybe about a couple years. Maybe 5 years the light scared him. And all that. But yeah. Oh, for the longest time, the police scared me to death. I wouldn't do anything against the law. But then I almost ended up dead because because the criminals, and they happen to be friends with some of them, the criminals violate the law anyway. So this guy with an illegal gun, because I didn't want a gun in Canada because I thought the law was you couldn't have one, you had to, right? But I almost died because some criminal had a gun. So then it made me search up and learn, oh, wait, Tom, you can have guns. You better save up your money and get a gun and all that or whatever. And I had to go antique or whatever. Some people get their PAL. But what I find gracious is I just bought my new handgun. And they're making it now where now nobody else in Canada is ever going to be able to buy a handgun again. Only the people that own a handgun right now that just bought it, like me, will be able to have their handgun here in Canada for the rest of their life. You're not allowed to sell your handgun, trade your handgun, or anything. I bought my handgun a while ago and all that. No, not too long ago. And now no one ever again they said StacksAMilli's 1 in a million. He bought his handgun. Nobody else can buy, sell, or trade handguns anymore. If you have a handgun, you bought it, it's yours. Anything else is illegal, you'll go to prison or worse. And that's the new law they're saying. So I got my handgun. Did you get yours? Well, probably not. You had to be a specific type of higher up person in the government to get one of these handguns.